A friend recently asked me if I thought that the technology and the ease that we have in our lives is some type of diabolical or demonic plan to cause us as a nation to perish. And it's a good question. At the heart of that question is complacency or plenty and is entertainment an inherent narcotic to the soul? And are these devices that we have inherently evil? Because if they're inherently evil and we just saturate ourselves with them, then yes, we can expect evil things, all right? I don't think necessarily that everything that's going on around us is inherently evil. I will say that I don't think that the human spirit and mind and soul were designed by God to be able to take in so much so quickly. We don't reflect. We don't ponder. We don't stop and pray. It's just it's very narrow, and there's something very unhealthy about that. But that has to do with our own self-discipline. But before I go too far down that path, from my vantage point, the issue is not that we have all of these devices and all of this prosperity. The issue is that we do not fight for what is right, that we don't see the danger that we're in, that we have allowed ourselves to become drunk with tawdry pleasures and trinkets of this world. We're not playing for the day of judgment. We're not living for the day that we'll give an account to our Maker. And when we see all of these tragedies around us, whatever it is, when we see evils and ills, the murder of babies, chemical abortifacients, the militant sodomites with their agenda to upend and really destroy the institution of marriage, if they could do it, which they can't, by the way. But when we see the poor suffering at the southern part of our border and these contrived crises that Obama is bringing about, when we see our government spying on us, we see all these evils, but most of us don't do anything. And I want to read to you a passage, and I invite you, by the way, when this program is done, to get out your Bible, get out a concordance, read about these things, and also maybe replay the next two segments, because I'm going to talk to you about some things that you could do. I'm going to even tell you a personal story. But God's eyes are going to and fro throughout the earth. And He might be looking for you to show Himself strong on your behalf if you'll just say, Lord, you have my heart. And it doesn't just mean your heart in prayer. It means your heart with obedience and with action. Here am I, Lord. Send me. Use me. I submit myself to you to be a weapon of righteousness or a tool of mercy in your hands. Listen to this passage. Woe to those who are at ease in Zion. Another passage translates it, woe to those who are complacent in Zion. Zion is the city of God. That's us. All right? It's a type of the church, us. And to those who feel secure on the mountain of Samaria. It says, or you who put away the evil day and bring near the seat of violence. Or another translation translates it, the day of terror. You put off judgment. You say, judgment's not going to come. And by doing so, you're actually bringing close the day of judgment. You're ensuring your doom, God says. He said, woe to those who lie upon beds of ivory and stretch themselves upon their golden couches and eat the lambs from the flock and calves from the midst of the stall, who sing idle songs to the sound of the harp, and like David, invent for themselves instruments of music, who drink wine in bowls and anoint themselves with the finest oils, but are not grieved over the ruin of Joseph. It's not that they have these things that's inherently bad. It's that they're just at ease. Judgment's not coming. Let's get out the music. Hey, did you see that new music video? Let's go to church. We're going to have a worship service. Can you imagine the Christians singing louder when the trains full of Jews went by during World War II? That's what they actually did. They sang louder. Do you think at that moment that the worship service, that the song service was a pleasing fragrance to God? I don't think so. Woe to those who were at ease in Zion. They're not grieved over the ruin of Joseph. Therefore, they shall now be the first of those who go into exile. That's judgment. That's the Babylonian captivity. And the revelry of those who stretch themselves shall pass away. People, we can't continue like this. And judgment begins in the house of God. If we continue down this path of revelry, of just taking in and not fighting and not being a public advocate for the truth, for justice, for the innocent, then God will say to us, woe to you who are at ease in Zion. You think you're putting off judgment, but you're actually bringing near the day of terror. When we come back, I want to talk to you about you being a public advocate. Friend, this program is supported by friends like you who believe in what we are doing. We run a very tight ship. Thankfully, we are on over 130 stations across the country, having tremendous impact. We get emails every day. We get letters in the mail, not every day, but almost every day. We hear from people who love what we're doing. What people don't understand is that it's sort of expensive to produce a television show like this. It doesn't require earth-shattering funds, but it does require financial help. So I am asking you, if you enjoy this program, throw us a $10 or a $20 bill every once in a while, or even a $50 or a $100 check. You see the address there on the screen. Your gifts are not tax deductible, by the way, because we want to be able to say what we want to say regarding politics without the IRS telling us no. So if you like the program, I ask for your support.